हेलो 9th क्लास स्टूडेंट्स, हाउ आर यू। आप लोग कैसे हो। आज मैं आप लोगों के लिए साइंस का लेक्चर ग्रेविटेशन यानी गुरुत्वाकर्षण, यूनिवर्सल गुरुत्वाकर्षण और आर्किमिडीज प्रिंसिपल लेकर आया हूं, जिसके अध्ययन से आपका ज्ञानवर्धन होगा, आपकी पढ़ाई में आपको मदद मिलेगी। आप हमारा चैनल पाठ सेतु सब्सक्राइब करना और बेल आइकन दबाना न भूलिए और हमारे इस लेक्चर को आप नीडी स्टूडेंट्स को शेयर कर सकते हैं। धन्यवाद। हेलो बच्चों, टुडे वी विल स्टडी अबाउट ग्रेविटेशन एंड विल थिंक हाउ वी आर स्टैंडिंग ऑन द ग्राउंड or why moon is moving around the earth, and also we'll study about Archimedes principle and some forces like buoyant force, upthrust, etc. बच्चों, here we will study about gravitation. There is a story about gravitation. It is said that when Newton was sitting under a tree, an apple fell on him. The fall of the apple made Newton starting thinking. He thought that if the earth can attract an apple, can it not attract the moon? Is the force the same in both cases? आप जैसा जानते हैं कि न्यूटन ने एक बार एक पेड़ के नीचे बैठे थे और एप्पल उनके आसपास पेड़ से गिरा, तो उन्होंने सोचा कि एप्पल नीचे की तरफ ही क्यों गिर रहा है, या वह कौन सा फोर्स है जो एप्पल को अपनी तरफ खींच रहा है। मून पृथ्वी के चारों तरफ चक्कर क्यों लगाता है, इन सब बातों के बारे में उन्होंने सोचना शुरू कर दिया। We always observe that an object dropped from a height falls towards the earth. हम हमेशा देखते हैं कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट अगर किसी हाइट से छोड़ दिया जाता है, गिरा दिया जाता है, तो वह पृथ्वी के तरफ आता है। इसके अगेंस्ट में जब तक नहीं जाएगा जब तक कि उस पर कोई अलग से फोर्स न लगाया जाए। We also know that all the planets go around the sun. जितने भी प्लैनेट्स हैं सन के चारों तरफ चक्कर लगाते हैं। The moon goes around the earth. मून अर्थ के चारों तरफ चक्कर लगाता है। In all these cases, there must be some force acting on the objects. इन सभी केसेस में कोई न कोई ऐसा फोर्स है जो इनके ऊपर काम करता है। The planets and on the moon, some force is acting on these. Isaac Newton stated that the same force is responsible for all these events, and that force is called the gravitational force. न्यूटन ने बताया कि जो भी घटनाओं के बारे में हमने अभी डिस्कस किया उन सब में एक ही फोर्स कार्य करता है, और वह फोर्स है ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स। द ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स इज अ फोर्स दैट अट्रैक्ट्स एनी ऑब्जेक्ट विथ मास। मीन्स if two objects are having mass, they will attract each other, like unlike charges attracting each other. But here there is no case of repulsion, only case of attraction is there. Now here we'll study about universal gravitation. According to the universal law of gravitation, the force between two objects is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. As per law of gravitation, we assume that the masses m1 and m2 kept at distance r, and the force between them is F. So we can write here F proportional to m1 into m2, and d is the distance between them. So F inversely proportional to 1 by d square, and now we can see here F proportional to m1 into m2 divided by d square, and ultimately we'll write F is equal to G into m1 into m2 divided by d square, where G is constant of proportionality and is called the universal gravitation constant. So the accepted value of G is 6.673 into 10 to the power minus 11 nm square kg minus 2 square. Newton meter square kilogram minus square. So the law is universal in the sense that it is applicable to all bodies, whether the bodies are big or small, whether they are celestial or terrestrial. So any object having mass is feeling that force of attraction between them. Now we'll study here importance of the universal law of gravitation. यूनिवर्सल लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन का क्या महत्व है, इसके बारे में हम अध्ययन करेंगे. The universal law of gravitation successfully explained several phenomena which were believed to be unconnected. For example, the force that binds us to the earth, वह फोर्स जो हमें पृथ्वी के साथ बांध कर रखता है, यानी पृथ्वी पर जिसकी वजह से हम खड़ा हो पाते हैं, घूम फिर चल सकते हैं, या फिर वह फोर्स जो चंद्रमा को पृथ्वी के चारों तरफ चक्कर लगाने में मदद करता है, या फिर वह फोर्स जो प्लैनेट्स को सन के चारों तरफ चक्कर लगाने में मदद करता है, एंड द tides due to the moon and the sun. All these things or these events are happening because of universal law of gravitational force. Here we will study about gravitational force of the earth. यहाँ पर हम पृथ्वी के ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स गुरुत्वाकर्षण बल के बारे में अध्ययन करेंगे. Whenever an object falls towards the earth, जब कभी कोई ऑब्जेक्ट धरती के तरफ गिरता है, an acceleration is involved. This acceleration is due to the earth's gravitational force. यह acceleration पृथ्वी के ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स के कारण होता है. Therefore, this acceleration is called the acceleration due to the gravitational force of the earth. It is denoted by letter G. The unit of G is the same as that of acceleration. normal acceleration, that is a, and the unit is meter per second square, and the value of g, normally we are taking 9.8 meter per second square, but sometimes it is taken as 10 meter per second square also. Here we'll see the derivation. The magnitude of the gravitational force F will be equal to the product of mass and acceleration due to the gravitational force. It is equal to, means F is equal to m into g. M is the product or object mass and g is the earth gravitation. So we have also learned in previous slides, F is equal to G, capital G, into mass of earth into mass of object divided by d square. So we can write this after equating the both the forces. Small mg is equal to capital G into small m into capital M divided by d square. So ultimately we can write small g, that is the gravitation of the earth, is equal to capital G into m, capital M divided by d square. This is for object on earth or near the earth. So we can write G is equal to, small g is equal to capital G into capital M divided by capital R square, where R is radius of the earth and M, capital M, is the mass of the earth and d is the distance between the object and the earth. So with this we have understand the gravitational force of the earth. Now we will study about motion of objects under the influence of gravitational force of the earth. हम उस ऑब्जेक्ट के बारे में स्टडी करेंगे यहाँ पे जो पृथ्वी के ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स के प्रभाव में पृथ्वी के तरफ गिर रही हो या पृथ्वी से दूर ऊपर की तरफ फेंकी गई हो. We know that an object experiences acceleration during free fall, and this acceleration experienced by an object is independent of its mass. We also know that g is constant near the earth, and all the equations for the uniformly accelerated motion of objects become valid with acceleration a replaced by g when g is opposite to the motion. It is taken as negative in calculation. Here in figure we can just see different type of falling object from top to downwards toward the earth are thrown against the earth gravitational force here. So we will see here equation for the motions. V is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, and v square is equal to u square plus 2as. In all the three equations, a is replaced by g here, and after replacing it will be v is equal to u plus gt, s is equal to ut plus half gt square, and v square is equal to u square plus 2 gs. So we can see when object is falling towards the earth, g taken for calculation is positive, that is 9.8 meter per second square or 10 meter per second square, and when it is thrown against the gravitational force of the earth in upward direction, then g will be taken as negative and calculation is done accordingly. Now we'll see here mass and weight. द्रव्यमान और भार क्या होता है, इनमें समानताएं होती हैं या नहीं होती हैं। सामान्य तौर पर हम मास और भार में कोई फर्क नहीं समझते हैं, परंतु विज्ञान की भाषा में, विज्ञान के अध्ययन के हिसाब से मास और भार, वेट में फर्क होता है। इस चीज को हम यहाँ पर देखेंगे। We have learned that the mass of an object is the measure of its inertia. We have also learned that greater the mass, the greater is the inertia. It remains the same whether the object is on the earth, on the moon, or even in outer space. Mass is always constant and it doesn't change from place to place. Where in case of weight, we'll see weight is varying from place to place. So the earth attracts every object we know with a certain force, and this force depends upon the mass of the object and the acceleration due to the gravity. So we can write formula F is equal to ma, where a will be replaced by g. So we can write F is equal to mg because object is falling under gravitation. Hence, for weight we can write W is equal to mg. The force of attraction of the earth on an object is known as the weight of the object. It is denoted by W, and SI unit is as force, that is Newton, or we can also write kg weight. The weight is a force acting vertically downwards, and it has both magnitude and direction. As we know, weight is varying from place to place, so we can write the formula for the weight of the object on moon, that is 1/6 into its weight on the earth. So we have just seen difference between mass and weight. I have given one chart here. From there also we can compare the mass and weight is differing, how it is differing. बच्चों, now we'll talk about thrust and pressure. Have you ever thought about why a camel can run in a desert easily, or why an army tank weighing more than 1,000 tons rests upon a continuous chain, or why a truck or a motor bus has much wider tires, or why cutting tools have sharp edges. These are the questions in front of us, and answer is depending upon thrust and pressure. So we'll see here the effects of forces of the same magnitude on different areas are different. फर्स्ट केस, जो फोर्सेस का इफेक्ट है, प्रभाव है, वह डिफरेंट एरिया के ऊपर डिफरेंट तरह से होता है. द इफेक्ट ऑफ थ्रस्ट डिपेंड्स ऑन द एरिया ऑन विच इट एक्ट्स. जो थ्रस्ट का इफेक्ट होता है वह एरिया के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. अगर एरिया छोटी होगी तो अलग होगा, एरिया वाइडर होगा तो अलग होगा. सो द इफेक्ट ऑफ थ्रस्ट ऑन सैंड इज लार्जर while standing than while lying. अगर आप सैंड के ऊपर खड़ा होते हैं तो उसका प्रभाव अलग होगा, और यदि आप सैंड पर लेट जाते हैं तो उसका प्रभाव अलग होगा, क्योंकि एरिया जो है चेंज हो रही है. द थ्रस्ट ऑन यूनिट एरिया इज कॉल्ड प्रेशर एंड दैट इज रिटेन एज P is equal to thrust यानी force divided by area. We can also write this F by A. Substituting the SI unit of thrust and area, we get the SI unit of pressure as N by M square. N is Newton, M square, that is meter square, means that is the unit of area. So we can write Nm minus 2 square. In honor of scientist Blaise Pascal, the SI unit of pressure is called Pascal, denoted by Pa. So just we can understand from this chart also what is difference between thrust and pressure and how thrust is acting upon the object which is having narrow or wider area. Now here we'll talk about pressure in fluids and buoyancy. As we know, all liquids and gases are fluids. जैसा कि हम जानते हैं कि सभी लिक्विड और गैसेस फ्लूइड के नाम से जानी जाती हैं, और हम यह भी जानते हैं कि a solid exerts pressure on a surface due to its weight. Solid अपने भार के कारण सरफेस के ऊपर प्रेशर लगाता है. Similarly, fluids have weight and they also exert pressure on the base and walls of the container in which they are enclosed or they are kept. Pressure exerted in any confined mass of fluid is transmitted undiminished in all directions. So now we'll see about buoyancy. The upward force exerted by the water on the object immersed into water is known as upthrust or buoyant force. In fact, all objects experience a force of buoyancy when they are immersed in a fluid, and magnitude of this buoyant force depends on the density of the fluid. So here in figure we can see here there are force or thrust applied downwards and upwards. Because the pressure is greater at the bottom, प्रेशर जो है बॉटम पे ज़्यादा लगता है और टॉप में कम लगता है. Hence, the fluid exerts a net upward force more. Now we'll talk about why objects float or sink when placed on the surface of water, and also we'll study about Archimedes' principle. We'll take two examples here. Why the cork floats while the iron nail sinks. So we'll see here, this happens because of the difference in their densities. The density of substance is defined as the mass per unit volume, that is D is equal to m by V, and SI unit of density is kg per meter cube or gram cm cube. The density of cork is less than the density of water. This means that the upthrust of water on the cork is greater than the weight of the cork, so it floats. Second case, we'll see here, the density of an iron nail is more than the density of water. This means that the upthrust of water on the iron nail is less than the weight of the nail, so it sinks. इसलिए यह डूब जाएगा. Therefore, object of density less than that of a liquid float on the liquid, and the objects of density greater than that of a liquid sink in the liquid. तो इस प्रकार से हमने यह देखा कि डेंसिटी इज वाइटल फैक्टर हियर फॉर floating and sinking in the water. And we'll see here Archimedes' principle. When a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. So I have given one picture here. In that you can see some objects are just sink here and some are floating there. So you can see the object which is having more density, on that upthrust is applied less and it is getting sink. But the object which is having less density, on that upthrust force is applied more and it is floating on the water or partially floating on the water. The relative density of a substance is the ratio of its density to that of water. So we can write relative density is equal to density of a substance divided by density of water. Now I will do some numerical here. The mass of the earth is 6 into 10 to the power 24 kg and that of the moon is 7.4 into 10 to the power 22 kg. If the distance between the earth and the moon is 3.84 into 10 to the power 5 kilometer. Calculate the force exerted by the earth on the moon, where G is given 6.7 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. So data given is here: the mass of the earth, the mass of the moon, and the distance between the earth and the moon. It is given in kilometer. It has to be converted into meter. So after putting formula, F is equal to G into M, that is mass of the earth, into mass of moon, divided by D square. Will substitute the value of both the M, G and D, will get the value 2.01 into 10 to the power 20 Newton. So this is the force exerted by the earth on the moon is 2.01 into 10 to the power 20 Newton. Next numerical is: a car falls off a ledge and drops to the ground in 0.5 second. Let G is equal to 10 meter per second square. For simplifying the calculation, we see here what is its speed on striking the ground. Second is what is its average speed during the 0.5 second, and how high is the ledge from the ground. So we'll go for solution. Here time is equal to half second, that is 0.5 second. Initial velocity u is equal to 0 meter per second. Acceleration due to gravity g is equal to 10 meter per second square. Acceleration of the car is equal to, that is a is equal to 10 meter per second square downwards. So as per first question, speed is equal to, here v is equal to 80 because u is 0. So we'll find out v is equal to 5 meter per second. Then average velocity is equal to, formula is u plus v by 2. After putting the value, we'll find out 2.5 meter per second, and distance traveled is calculated as s is equal to half at square, or we can say that half gt square. So by putting the value of g and t, we'll get here 1.25 meter after calculation. We'll see here again next numerical. It is simple. Mass of an object is 10 kg. What is its weight on the earth? So solution is, mass is given, that is 10 kg. Acceleration due to gravity is g, that is 9.8 meter per second square. So by putting the formula w is equal to m into g, we can get weight 98 kg or 98 Newton. Thus the weight of the object is 98 Newton. Second is, an object weighing 10 Newton when measured on the surface of the earth. What would be its weight when measured on the surface of the moon? So this is also simple question. We know the formula. Weight of object on the moon is equal to 1 by 6 into its weight on the earth. So Wm is equal to We by 6. So by putting the value 10 and divided by 6, we'll get 1.67 Newton, that is the weight of the object on moon. Thus the weight of object on the surface of the moon would be 1.67 Newton. Now we'll do next numerical. A block of wood is kept on a tabletop. The mass of wooden block is 5 kg and its dimensions are 40 cm, 20 cm and 10 cm. Find the pressure exerted. We'll go for solution. The mass of the wooden block is equal to 5 kg. The dimensions is equal to 40 into 20 into 10. Here the weight of the wooden block applies a thrust on the tabletop, that is equal to, thrust is equal to F is equal to M into G. So by putting the value of M and G, we are getting thrust 49 Newton, and from dimensions we will calculate area. So area is equal to length into breadth. By putting the value, we will get area is equal to 0.02 meter square. Now we will calculate the pressure, that is equal to F by A. So by putting the value of F and A, that is 49 divided by 0.02, we will get the result 2450 Newton per meter square. The pressure exerted by the side 20 into 10 cm is equal to 2450 Newton per meter square. Now we will do last numerical here. Relative density of silver is 10.8. The density of water is 103 kg per meter cube. What is the density of silver in SI unit? Solution is like this. Relative density of silver is given, that is 10.8. So by putting the formula, relative density is equal to density of silver divided by density of water. So we'll get density of silver is equal to relative density of silver into density of water. By putting the value, we'll get the result 10.8 into 103 kg per meter cube. So with this, I have completed this lesson. If you have doubt, put in comment box, and also share and like this video. Thank you. धन्यवाद.